home because, like, Michigan, Virginia, Pittsburgh. See, I grew up in New Mexico, so I feel like home because there's a Whataburger on every corner, right? And there's always a Denny's next to La Quinta. But no, this has been awesome. This is the first time I've had a chance to coach in the Sun Bowl. You know, everybody's just been awesome. Even though you guys made me come back early from picking out my new pair of boots at the Casey, but
we'll get you back.
You get me back? All right. But no, anytime you get a chance to finish up a season, you know how it always is no matter what happened in the season, the last one is the one that sticks with you until you start it all over again. And for us to get a chance to come play against, you know, the quality opponent of Virginia Tech and Bud and Scott and Coach Beamer is a great challenge for us. And I know we're excited. Our team's excited to have this opportunity. No questions?
What kind of growth did you see from the offensive line against USC that would maybe help against another good defensive front like Virginia Tech has?
I don't know. I think they're, you know, obviously the best coach in the world is experience, right? So they've gotten a few more games under their belt. The young guys, and it's, you know, this is, and I'm not saying this because Bud's sitting in here. I mean, I coached in the ACC in the Southeast Conference. I've known Bud, watched his defenses for many years, and that's kind of this is going to be a good challenge for those kids. His defensive front, you know, with, was it Collins and Gale? Yeah, I mean, those two guys on the end are trouble, you know. And his defenses, I mean, to be honest with you, I see a lot of similarity. I mean, I like our guys to play like his guys play, or hopefully in the same. He feels the same way because the Virginia Tech defenses historically, he always gets those kids to play hard. And you know, it's going to be a good challenge for our five guys against his, you know, his inside 6 or 8, or sometimes it seems like he's got freaking 14 guys in the box. But so I mean, it's exciting. You know, honestly, I'm excited to watch the game. I'm excited to go and watch it, and we'll call a few plays, see what happens.
What do you see from their young corners? They've got the 2 freshmen that they've been playing a lot this year.
Yeah, I think they're really athletic, but I think that about every corner we play against. You know, I always worry about, I don't care if they're freshmen or redshirt seniors, I worry about them all. Obviously, they're very talented young men. You know, and the thing about it's like any defense, okay, his front 4, I think, makes those corners even better. All right, you know, I mean, any corner you start to put pressure on the quarterback and make Brett get the ball out of his hand quickly, or keep guys in to help protect. It puts a little bit of duress on my guys, and it makes it a little bit easier on their guys outside. But it's you know, I feel good about our receiving core, and Shaq and JP and Devin Lucien. I think they're a pretty solid group, and I think that's going to be some good matchups out there.
Looking back over the last half of the season or so, how would you grade the performance of the 3 freshmen on the line?
If I was saying, I'd give them like a B-, maybe, you know, maybe a C+. You know, I think I got them now for like almost 50% of the time they actually go the right way. So that's an improvement. But, you know, and having Jake in the middle, I mean, he's a sophomore, but he's kind of an old sophomore, helps. And then, you know, we moved X back outside when we lost Torian and Simon, which isn't really his natural position at tackle. But having him on the left side, I think, I don't know. See, it's funny because, you know, I think they're doing a pretty good job, but you really need to ask Brett, because he's the son who's going to get hit, not me. All right, and I think he feels good with X out there at the left tackle spot. But I think both Caleb and Alex and Quiz, I think down the road these guys are going to be like really good football players.
Is there anything about Brett that makes him well equipped to handle all? There's, you know, a lot of questions about whether he's going to be back next year and things like that. Is there something about him that, you know, you have faith that stuff, that noise isn't going to distract him?
He's a pretty even keeled kid. You know, he's like every 20-year-old that all of a sudden thinks he might make $100 million. You know, yeah, I would imagine he probably thinks about it every now and then. You know, we just try to, you know, we show up every day and try to be the same guys every day, treat them the same way. I don't even breach the subject with him. You know, right now, he's a kid that can focus pretty well. You know, now if I can just get him to not focus on the defensive front and the secondary a little better, he'd be, you know, would help. But Yeah, I don't even think that's something that even gets addressed until, after Tuesday.
You mentioned Gale and Collins specifically, Tech's two ends. What about them specifically have you seen on tape that was so impressive?
I think from what I see on film, they're really athletic guys. I love their motors. They play hard. They come off the edge hard. They contain, and kind of our deal is that Brett has to be able to create some plays with his feet. And those guys, give you a little issue on the edges out there and allowing him to get out of the pocket. And then the two inside guys do a really nice job of pushing the pocket, and keeping Brett, kind of corralled in there. But just like any guy I watch play on film, some are a little more athletic than the others, but you always love to watch guys who just their motor just runs, and that's always been to me kind of a trademark of Bud's defenses anyway. I think all their kids' motors run, but I really like those two ends.
With your running backs healthy again, how much does that take away from Miles Jack, or is there a role for him in this game?
Well, Bud's sitting right here.
I think they heard Miles Jack.
No, it'll be about the same. Yeah, we'll use him. We've got, I think, 6 defensive kids that. We're not a team that has a lot of tight end type guys or fullback type guys, so these guys kind of fill those. Whenever Lou lets me borrow them, okay, those are guys that kind of fill that role for us, and so I don't know. It depends. If it's like anything on offense, right? If you call it and it makes some yards, you call it again. If it doesn't, you try something else.